What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU, and of course, the Spider-Man universe over at Sony. And right now, it's actually sounding like Sony does indeed have a good plan for their Spider-Man universe. If you've been following the channel, or just keeping up with Spider-Man news in general lately, you probably know that Sony seemingly has some plans up their sleeves, not just for Spider-Man, but for their entire Spider-Man universe. And as I've mentioned before, it does seem like Sony is building up to a really big event, possibly Spider-Geddon. This will essentially be Avengers Endgame and Avengers Secret Wars, just in the Sony universe specifically focused on Spider-Man, but many different variants of Spider-Man. And I really mean that. I'm talking about a lot of different variants of Spider-Man, some obscure ones, some amazing ones, some new ones I'm sure are going to be introduced on screen that might not be characters in the comics. And the best part is it does seem like this is an opportunity for Sony to make a lot of movies that we are really excited about, and also give opportunities that we are really excited about as well, such as Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man returning on screen yet again. Spider-Man No Way Home brought the three Spider-Men together. It was amazing, and of course we all loved it. However, what if that was just the start for Sony? In this video, I want to talk about Sony's plan and how I think their Spider-Verse is about to be insanely huge. And also, of course, talk about what movies and what Spider-Man we can expect to see in the upcoming future of the Sony universe. Because I, for one, am really excited with where I think Sony is going, even though we might have to see some Spider-Man variants actually die on screen. And don't worry, I don't think it's going to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's or Tobey Maguire's. Now, at this point, we all know that the biggest Spider-Man success stories for Sony are Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and of course, No Way Home, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and of course, Venom. And with the exception of the Venom franchise, Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse put on screen multiple variants of Spider-Man, and Sony has realized that this works for them, and fans love to see it. Well, as it turns out, it looks like they're rolling with that, and they're basing their whole entire new universe off of the Spider-Verse, which is a really great idea, and they're kicking this off with Madam Web. Now, if you don't know much about Madam Web for the comics, basically all you need to know for Sony's purposes is that in the comics, Madam Web can travel through the multiverse. She is essentially a cosmic being, and she has the power to travel through different universes. And this is the movie that we are getting February 16th of 2024, about a year and a half away, a little less. And this movie is really where we are about to see the Spider-Verse come into play. And if you're wondering what type of Spider-Verse Sony is going to introduce, we are talking a lot of different Spider-Man variants. If you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, we're pretty much talking about that, only more. Also, recently, as far as Across the Spider-Verse is concerned, which is Into the Spider-Verse 2, the insider account Can We Get Some Toast recently tweeted this morning, seriously, Across the Spider-Verse is going to be so effing cool. We're gonna have so many different spider characters, it's insane. I'm excited for Spider-Cat, and I'm really excited for Spider-Cat as well. And this is just an example of what Sony is starting to do. Implement new Spider-Man characters into their universes. Now, of course, Across the Spider-Verse is going to be an animated film, but with the multiverse coming into play for Sony's Spider-Man universe, I believe that the animated universe is going to cross over into the live-action universe. Eventually, not just yet. You see, Sony did originally have a plan, and many people know parts of this plan. It was kind of muddy, wasn't very well put together, and it quite often changed. Recently, very much for the better. Their original plan was to have some characters from the MCU Spider-Man universe jump over to their universe. Their plan was to use Tom Holland's Spider-Man as the main Spider-Man in their universe, and eventually do crossovers with Venom, Morbius, essentially do a Sinister Six film. However, a few things have changed, and most of that came with the success of Spider-Man No Way Home and the failure of Morbius, not to mention the very confusing post-credit scene. However, since then, they have kind of shifted from doing this sort of Sinister Six idea, which isn't completely off the table, by the way, it should happen eventually, but they've shifted from that mentality to a multiverse of Spider-Man mentality, a Spider-Verse, which is a much better plan. And to top it all off, they are consulting with Kevin Feige for each project they do concerning Spider-Man. The Marvel Cinematic Universe and Kevin Feige have been a large part of the success of Tom Holland's Spider-Man because he is in the MCU and because Kevin Feige had creative control. Luckily for us, Sony has realized this, that Kevin Feige is somewhat of a genius and he has good direction. And it has been revealed that Kevin Feige does work with them on each Spider-Man project now. So there's a lot more synergy now between Sony and Disney/Marvel Studios, which is perfect because Sony is trying to do a Spider-Verse and Kevin Feige created the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now Sony seemingly has a pretty good plan. We'll get to that in just a bit, but first, big thank you to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this video. Most people know about Mint Mobile because of Ryan Reynolds, but most people don't know about Mint Mobile's amazing quality. And I have to say there's an extremely good reason that Ryan Reynolds is pushing Mint Mobile so much, because it actually is a great phone company. Mint Mobile sent me a free plan, and at first I didn't think too much of it. I have one of the major wireless providers. However, I don't get that good of service with my provider, and over the past 3 months, I've gotten incredible service with Mint Mobile to the point to where if I actually need to make a phone call, I will use my Mint Mobile phone. And what's crazy is their plan is so much cheaper. Mint Mobile offers wireless for just $15 a month. They give you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family. And at Mint Mobile, families start at only 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, Mint Mobile's modern family plan lets you mix and match data plans so everyone gets the amount of data that's right for them. And you can use your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, including the modern family plan, go to mintmobile.com/cosmic. That's mintmobile.com/cosmic. Cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/cosmic. So Sony's plan is kind of cool. It's actually really cool. Based off of what we've heard from some insiders, Sony is going to have a main Spider-Verse villain, not just a villain for one film, but for the Spider-Verse in general, which is a really cool concept to think about. If this is true, this could work really well, and there are signs that this is indeed true. Some set photos from Madame Web have revealed a character that is seemingly dressed up in a Spider-Man outfit. Well, according to some insiders, this is actually going to be Ezekiel Sims, and this very well could be our main big bad multiversal villain. According to some insiders, he is going to be going around in different universes killing off different Spider-Men, kind of like the Terminator, but in the multiverse. Now, at this point in time, we're not really sure if the whole Spider Totem story is going to be adapted in Sony Spider-Verse, but if they are going to go that way, which they very well could because of Madame Web, that's going to be awesome. Essentially, we'll have spider gods in the Spider-Man universe who can select avatars, in which a couple of Peter Parkers have been avatars before, for them. But as of right now, what the insiders are saying is that Ezekiel Sims is probably the villain who is going through the multiverse hunting down different Spider-Men. Or Spider-Woman, because of course there are female variants of Spider-Man. And that's kind of the whole point. Sony Spider-Verse is now going to bring everyone together. Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2099, and hopefully lead up to Spider-Geddon, which is essentially all of the different variants from the other universes coming to the main universe to stop a threat. Now, what is that ultimate threat going to be? We're not sure right now. That could be Ezekiel Sims, but I'm thinking they probably have a bigger villain in mind because there's always a bigger fish. Or they could have multiple villains, which is why they need so many different variants of Spider-Man to all come together in one universe. Now, if this is truly the way that the Sony Spider-Verse is going, this is huge. It's epic. This could be incredible and could completely turn around the Spider-Verse for Sony, because within this universe you could still do The Amazing Spider-Man 3, you could do another movie with Tobey Maguire, you could do Spider-Gwen, you could do Spider-Punk, who we know is coming in across the Spider-Verse. The great thing about this is that the potential is limitless. We can get our movie with Tom Hardy's Venom going up against Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. We could get a Sinister Six film within this universe but still have a big bad and a bigger multiversal story happening. The only thing that I sadly would not expect is Tom Holland's Spider-Man to have a major role in this universe. Could he appear in some films? Sure, but I think in order to not confuse people, Marvel Studios is going to want Tom Holland's Spider-Man to pretty much sit on the sidelines for Sony's Spider-Verse and just stay in the MCU mostly, especially with Secret Wars coming up. But again, if this is Sony's true plan for the Spider-Verse, they don't necessarily need Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Would it be cool? Of course. Would it be necessary? No. And I truly hope that everything we've heard is true, and it does seemingly look like that, especially from what we've seen from the set photos for Madam Web. So if this is Sony's plan, I'm really excited for the future of not just one Spider-Man, but a lot of different variants of Spider-Man. And this is definitely a better route for Sony to go, 100%. But hey, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Do you like this plan or do you not? Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest Spider-Man news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.